Hi, and welcome back to Grade 8 Math. This is Section 2, Lesson 1, and the second video in this lesson. This is Ms. Clemens-Brenton, and in this video we will continue observing ways that graphs are sometimes manipulated to misrepresent the data. This video will focus specifically on choosing the wrong graph, using inconsistent symbols, 3D graphs, and omitting the scale. The data being displayed needs to be considered when determining the type of graph to use. If the wrong graph is used, the data can be misrepresented. Both of these graphs compare the percentages of households with different pets. The first graph is a good choice and displays the data appropriately. When I look at this graph, I can see that 56% of households have a dog, 63% have a cat, and so on. The second graph is not an appropriate choice since circle graphs compare part-to-whole relationships and should add up to 100%. This graph clearly adds up to more than that. My guess is that the person who created this graph wanted cats and dogs to appear equal. Looking at this circle graph, it is really difficult to tell which group is bigger. Fish and hamsters also look the same. Though sometimes a mistake, the wrong type of graph is often used to intentionally misrepresent the data to sway the audience towards a particular viewpoint. There are other ways that graphs are manipulated to misrepresent data. Sometimes mistakes are made when symbols are used to represent information. In this graph, the house height represented the number of sales. However, because the house increases two-dimensionally, the sales in 2001 were exaggerated and look significantly more in comparison to the previous year. In this graph, the size of the symbol changed from one category to the next, making it appear as if some categories had more than others when they actually had less. This third graph uses different symbols in each category. The heights were used to indicate the number in each category, but again, the sizes increase two-dimensionally. So while the puck and the baseball are at the same height, the puck actually looks bigger, making it appear as if the number of spectators at the hockey game was greater than the number at the baseball game. The size of the symbol must be kept consistent. When symbols have different sizes, it gives the impression that one category has significantly more than another. Another way that data is sometimes misrepresented is by using three-dimensional graphs. Because of the angle in which the data is presented, the information can be difficult to read. Proportions are thrown off, and the information is often distorted. The information in the front will appear larger than the information in the back. It's also important to note with this particular graph that the scale, labels, and title is missing. This is often done on purpose to create a false impression. This circle graph is also in 3D, making the information in the front appear larger. From this angle, it appears as if item D is larger than item B, and item A appears to be the smallest sector. It is important to note here that the percents are missing and there is no title. Also in this graph, one piece is pulled away from the rest of the graph, bringing special attention to that particular piece. When the graph is displayed correctly, we can see that item D and item B are the same size, and item C is actually the smallest sector. While three-dimensional graphs are often used for aesthetic reasons, their use is often discouraged. As you can see, the messages that are conveyed are quite different. At this time, please complete the activities for this lesson.